Hi, this is how I create a wire tree. I start with wire. This is a 6-strand galvanized steel wire. I start by straightening out lengths of it to make it easier to cut and measure. I use the previous cut piece to kind of measure up. Doesn't have to be exact. I usually cut between 4 and 6 pieces of wire per tree. Then I unwind the 6 strands about halfway up the length of the wire. These will become the branches of the tree. There's 5 completed bundles. Then I unwind the other end. Not quite the rest of the way. These will become the roots. But I want to leave a section in the middle where the 6 strands are still wound together. It's a slow-mo action shot for you. Wow. Okay. And there are the roots. Put that with the rest of them. Now we've got a tree bundle. Still so much to do. Get the pliers out for this one. Start by separating the roots into 3 main clusters. Usually 3, sometimes 4. Depends on how I feel. And I'll use the pliers to twist them into a tight root-like shape. And then branching off, I twist up bundles of 2 or 3 remaining strands until I get down to individual roots. There we go. Now, shaping the branches. Same process as the roots. Just kind of lump the strands of wire into bundles as it speaks to me. I don't count out how many strands, just grouping and twisting. There we go. Here's our tree shape. Now I need to even out the bottom of the roots so they're all pretty much as close to the same level as possible. Just snipping. Normally I don't let the little pieces fly everywhere. I kind of trim them into a garbage can to catch them. I select a base from my many wood chips available there, and that looks like a good fit. I think that one will work. They come pretty rough, so I gotta sand them a little bit. I don't go too crazy with the sanding, but I do have 4 different grits of sandpaper, starting with coarse sandpaper and working my way to the finer sandpaper. Smooth enough. Now I'm going to mark out the spots that I'm going to drill. This tree has 5 pieces of wire, which have 6 strands each, so I'm going to end up with 30 holes that I need to drill. Try to space them evenly, but I don't have to be perfect. Nature's not perfect. This is my little Dremel setup. It's a lot easier than when I used to do it by hand. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just, the dots are just a guide. Okay, looking good. Time to add some stain. Give it a little richer color. I just used some light coating of Danish oil. I feel it gives it a nice color. Next, I'll dry fit the tree onto the wood, making sure I can get each wire into a hole. All right, looks like they're fitting. Looks pretty good. Now to secure it permanently, I have to pull out the wire, usually 2 or 4 or 6 at a time, and then use ultraviolet cured glue. Just squirt some of the glue in the hole, put the wire in, and use the ultraviolet LED to cure it almost instantly. And then just repeat the process 30 more times. Admittedly, it's a little easier to do this when the roots are longer on the tree. I've got more wire to play with to pull them out and put them back in. This particular tree, the roots ended up kind of short. Makes it a little more difficult to work with, but not impossible. There we go. Now, just some final fluffing. Tweaking all the branches, making sure they're looking somewhat natural. Curve them up slightly at the end, as if they're reaching towards the sun. Trim off some of the branches that have ended up a little long. Just a little haircut. A little final tweak. And just about good to go. There's my tree. And the last step is putting my name on it. And I always add the year underneath. There, that one's signed and ready to go. Thank you for watching. These trees and more are available on my website, StephenBuckart.com. Bye-bye.